All right, let's talk 12 volt, guys. So I am primarily a remodeling contractor and cabinet maker and furniture maker. A lot of kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, light remodeling work. Come install a vanity, new floors. You know, if we got to change some drywall out, add some light fixtures, that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, we go down to the studs. If we need to, it could be a full remodel, it could be just touch-ups. So that's what I primarily do. And for years and years and years, I've used 18 volt tools. And Makita has been my go-to. Just had a lot of luck with Makitas. They make a really good tool. They're right in there price-wise, and they perform as good, if not better, than the other big name brands out there. Makita is one of the there's only 2 companies left making professional level tools that are not owned by one of the big conglomerates, and Makita happens to be one of them. They offer on their 18 volt line 175, 180 different tools. Are right up there with, you know, Milwaukee's selection, and I think a little bit ahead of DeWalt as far as their selection, but really good tools. Makita has been around a long time, and so when I decided, you know, I had 12 volt tools in the past, and they just didn't have the oomph, didn't have the power, and so I kind of said, you know what, 18 volts what I need, 18 volts what I use. Don't really have a place in my toolbox for 12 volt tools. Well, if you haven't looked at 12 volt tools in a while, then you need to look again, because it's changed. The technology, the battery life with lithium-ion batteries, and the power we can get out of lithium-ion batteries now, brushless motors, 12 volt tools have come a long, long way. Now, with me, working inside cabinets, patching drywall, up in ceilings, you know, removing plumbing, you know, you got to get rid of some PVC. You're in tight spaces. So, you know, 18 volt tools, while they're nice for their power and their longevity, sometimes they're a bit big and sometimes they're heavy. Okay, so here about 3-4 months ago, I decided to take a look at 12 volt tools again and add those to my toolbox if it made sense. To say, all right, let's see what's out here, let's see how it performs, and see if it makes sense to carry this in my toolbox. So the first thing I did, being a Makita user, is I went out and I bought the drill driver kit. $139 at Home Depot or online. Comes with 2 batteries, a nice case, a case that's actually functional, a lot of compartments and pockets inside the case. So if you're going in to do, you know, if you're doing handyman type services or maintenance type services, you're going in to, you know, change some light fixtures, put up some ceiling fans, hang a mirror, change out a faucet, those types of things, you can probably pack most everything you need to do it all in this one bag. And so now you're rolling pretty light. So that's kind of nice. You know, I've got a rigid 12 volt set as well that I'm going to be doing a little video on, and then we're going to do a comparison video between the two and tell you what I like and what I don't like between the two of them. But the rigid bag was just a plain bag. Didn't have a lot to it. So Makita definitely stepped up a little bit there. As far as cases and bags go, we'll just cover this since it's here. Some of the 12 volt tools even come with hard cases. So if you're a hard case guy, you like your hard cases, a lot of the tools come with hard cases. So that's kind of a bonus for the price point that these things are at. So I started off with the drill and the driver, and then I added the 12 volt oscillating tool. And actually, wait, I got the Reship Saw first, and then I added the 12 volt oscillating tool. So I've got 4 pieces right now out of their collection. They offer 13 different tools in the collection. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but you can go to Makita.com, go to the CXT line, and you can see all the different pieces that they have. There's 2 more pieces I'm definitely going to add to my 12 volt Makita collection, and that's one of them is the 3.5 inch circular saw, and then the 12 volt jigsaw. Again, both of them compact, easy to carry around, lightweight, just makes really nice to use. So in looking at tools, I don't like to do tool reviews until I've actually had them in my hands and used them on the job to see how they actually perform. So one of the reasons why I initially chose Makita many years ago was ergonomics. And that's one thing that I don't think we think enough about in the trades. And that is that the tools we use, we're using these things for hours a day. Okay? You want a tool that fits you and your hand. I've got short, stubby little fingers. Okay? Wide hands and short, stubby little fingers. Makes me terrible at playing guitar because I can't get around it. But it makes me a great drummer because I can grab the sticks and just beat the snot out of stuff. So, one of the things, the thing that attracted me to Makita was the quality. They've been around forever. They build top quality tools. If you watch any of the shootouts where they're comparing tools, it's always the big three: Makita, DeWalt, and Milwaukee. And Makita's always in that top three. They're either 1, 2, or 3. So it's a quality tool that lasts, and that's important. The second thing that's important is the ergonomics. If I'm going to be carrying this thing around, I'm going to be using it every day, and it's going to be in my hands hours and hours a day. I need it to be comfortable, all right? Because if not, I'm going to fatigue my hand. I'm going to fatigue my wrist. And if you're fatigued, then you're not going to be quite as precise in your screw placement, the holes that you drill. Things may not be as straight. You know, the more fresh your arm is, and your hand and your wrist, the better quality of work you're going to put out. So I want it to be comfortable. Okay? Weight is a big part of that. Weight and size. A larger tool, when you're in remodeling, when you're in working on cabinetry, installing drawer slides, knobs, pulls, hinges, you may be in awkward positions to get that tool in there. You may be in an awkward position with your body. So you want to make sure that you have the least amount of stress on your arms and the rest of your upper body as possible. So ergonomics are a huge, huge deal. Okay? There's other brands of tools out there that have got great reputations. They build great tools. But the grips, the ergonomics of it is just too big for me. They just don't fit what I do. So, comfort is really, really important to me. And it should be to you as well, because this is how you're making your living. If you're using these things every day, you need to be comfortable using them. So, I'm going to give you just a quick rundown on these tools, a quick demonstration, and then we'll wrap it up, okay? So, I'm going to start with the specs. I'm not going to dive real deep into the specs on these things because it's all available online. So rather than hear me recite it, you can just go pop it up on Home Depot's website or Makita.com. All right, so the drill driver, 2 speed, 0 to 450 and 0 to 1700, 250 inch-pounds of torque. Okay, 3/8 inch chuck on it. The driver is also 3/8 inch, and it delivers 900 inch-pounds of torque out of your impact. Okay, so that's a lot of torque out of a small package. And I'm going to give you a little demonstration. I've used this thing now for the last 3 or 4 months. Is it meant to drive 3-inch, screws all day long? No, that's not what it's meant for. Can it drive 3-inch screws? Absolutely. I've driven 5-inch packs, 5-inch 5/16 packs screws with this, attaching a new section of wall to an old section of wall when we reframed something and moved a wall in a bathroom. So it can do it, but it's not meant with the 12-volt battery to do this all day long. Okay, so if you're a framer, this isn't the tool for you. Okay, but if you're a general contractor remodeler, where you're driving some screws, you're taking out some screws, removing stuff off the walls, putting up shelves, taking down shelves, just general kind of usage, more than enough power to get the job done for you. Okay, as I said, 13 tools, 3 different battery sizes. I've got a 1.5 amp hour, a 2 amp hour, and a 4 amp hour. Batteries are pretty reasonable. I just picked up some 4 amp hour batteries. I think they're about $64 a piece at Home Depot. Cheaper online, of course. So shop around, get the best deal you can. These things weigh. This is a big thing. The way these fit my hand, the way the grips are molded, and the size, they're more oblong than they are round. So for me, this fits my hand better because it's a more of an oval shaped grip, more oblong. Okay, weight. The driver weighs in at 2.3 pounds with the battery, and the drill weighs in at 2.4 pounds with the battery. So you're just over 2 pounds with the battery attached, guys. So if you're up, you're overhead, you're up high on the wall, this is going to be a lot less strain on you, and you're going to get better screw placement, you're going to get better hole placement. It's just going to work better for you. All right? So we all know what drill drivers do. These things work. Lots of power in the driver. Like I said, I've driven 5-inch, 5/16 spac screws adjoining 2 walls. So I'm going into, 3, 4.5 inches of 2x4s. Actually 6 inches of 2x4s, and she drove it all the way. Now, I wouldn't want to do 30 of them. I'd pull out my 18 volt. You're just going to get a lot more torque, a lot more oomph out of it. But this guy here is one of my favorite tools. This little one-handed Reship Saw. It's got 2 triggers on it. One traditional, back here on the handle. And then one up here. You can see that. Pull the lever. Okay, I love this. Again, small, lightweight, gets in there, plenty of power. This I used here was just doing some plumbing replacement, taking out CPVC and putting in PEX. And so I had to remove all the PVC. It's down the basement. Everything's run through the rafters, as well as the electrical and the HVAC. Everything is there. So you don't have a lot of space to get in there. This guy was fantastic because it's so small and so lightweight that I can take this, get it up overhead, move something else out of the way, and get in here with this and cut that PVC and get that PVC out of there. Works fantastic. I've used it on some door frames. I've used it on 2x4s. Cut the 2x4 out of a new door frame in a wall we built. Works just fine. Slices right through it. Drop the 4 amp hour battery on it, and you're still very lightweight, and you'll get a lot of work out of that 4 amp hour battery. Same thing goes with the oscillating tool. The 18 volt oscillating tool is literally half again as big, and for my short, stubby little fingers, it's a handful. I mean, it's a handful to hang on to. This fits my hand so well. Okay, and it again, 12 volts come a long way, plenty of power. I had to just cut out some 1.5-inch maple subfloor, tongue and groove maple subfloor. A house that was built back in the 30s, so that I could square off a hole and patch part of the hole and put in some vents in the floor. In a new style, new placement, rather than the big old square vents that used to come in. Now we did a 5x12, so I had to patch the hole for that, and I had to cut out some of the subfloor. Ate right through it. I mean, that was old 1.5-inch tongue and groove maple. So didn't run out of juice, didn't bog down on me, ran very well. Okay. Again, if you're going to use this tool 8 hours a day, day after day after day, yeah, you're going to want a little bit more oomph. You're going to want a little bit more power. Okay? But for most things that I've run into in the last 3-4 months, I've grabbed this over the 18 volt, and it's done just fine. Keep a good blade on it. Put a good battery on it, a 4 amp hour battery. I run it with the 2 a lot because I just don't use it, every day. But when I need it, and it works very, very well. So these are the 4 I've got so far. Like I said, I'm going to add the circular saw. I'm going to add the jigsaw. And then I'll have a pretty complete set. And it's all small. I can put this in the back seat of the truck. I can put it in the toolbox in the back of the truck. Grab it, go in, and have just about everything I need to do small jobs right there with me in a lightweight, cost-effective platform. You know, like I said, the drill driver combo was $139. The oscillating tool, I think, was $79 or $89. This guy you can get as a bare tool for $89. I bought it with a kit. It came with 2 batteries and another charger for like $129. Okay, circular saw is $89, and the jigsaw I think is also $129. So for what's that? You know, $800. I'm gonna have 2 chargers, 4 or 5 batteries, and 6 tools, all in a 12-volt line that's got plenty of power, plenty of oomph, and fits in a lot of places that other tools don't. Okay, so just a quick demo here. Got some 2.5-inch decking screws for the driver. Now, this is not a torture test or a battery life test. I just want to show you that it can do it, and do it very, very well and very efficiently. Is it going to be as quick as my 18-volt tools? No, it's not. But is it pretty darn impressive for a 12-volt? Yes, it is. So sunk those right in. Actually cracked it open. So plenty of torque. It's fast enough, you know, unless this is what you're going to be doing all day, every day. Okay, so plenty of power. Now, one of the other common things I end up doing a lot is got to run a piece of Romex somewhere. Gonna add an outlet, move an outlet. So this is a little overkill. Normally I run a 5/8 for doing my Romex. This is 3/4 inch paddle bit. So again, and these are not fresh charged batteries. These batteries have been on these tools. These are not fresh charged batteries. These batteries have been on these tools. That was the 1.5 amp hour battery on this guy. So this is not even the 2 amp or the 4 amp. If I take, I think this 4 amp is pretty charged. Yeah, 4 amps got pretty much a full charge on it. So 3/4 inch spade bit through a 2x4 runs pretty good. Again, they're 12-volt tools. They've got a place. They've come a long way with the technology, and a lot of that comes from the batteries and the motors that we have available to us now. So, you know, if you're not carrying 12-volt tools, I think it's something you need to look at, because there's a lot of options out here now. The manufacturers are really stepping up and expanding their 12-volt lines. Again, I chose Makita over Milwaukee, and DeWalt doesn't really have a 12 volt line. They're starting to come out with one though. Rigid's the other one that has a 12 volt line, but their tool selection's fairly limited right now. They're trying to add some stuff, and we'll talk about that when we do the Rigid video. But so Milwaukee and Makita are the two big 12 volt manufacturers out there. The Milwaukees are just big and heavy. They're a lot bigger. Their impacts are a good inch longer. They weigh almost a pound more. Same thing with the drills. And for me, getting into tight spaces, I wanted it as compact as possible. Okay. Now, part of that reason is the battery style. Okay. Makita uses this bottom slide battery, so that means my handle doesn't have to be as big to accommodate that battery sliding up inside. So the bottom slide battery, to me, gives Makita an advantage because I don't have to have as big a handle. It's not as heavy. So, I don't know. If you don't have 12 volt, check it out. If you're just starting to look at 12 volt, check out Makita. They make a great set of tools. Good warranties on them. 3-year warranty on all the tools. They're expanding their lineup. Like I said, they've got 13 tools now, and they're adding more consistently and constantly, and they just work. I use them in my business every day, doing real-world tasks, and they just work. So, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell so you get the notifications when a new video comes up. Leave me a comment. If there's something you want to say, you got some experience, using Makita, using something else, tell me what you got. Tell me how you like it. Tell me how you're using it. You know, so we appreciate it. All the comments are important. That really helps the videos grow. That gets the more comments you have, the more interaction on a video, the more it gets popped into people's feeds, so more people get a chance to see it. But I'm Mike with R2 Customs. Thanks for stopping by today, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Share this with your friends. Stay tuned for more videos.